why, especially in this landscape that we find ourselves in with a lot of the snowball and assassin, it seems like that river is like the main source for that snowball. And in expanding rivers, things will go faster. Makes a lot of sense for RORA to ban out Freya, if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly what both of them need, especially for TNC. I feel like game 1 aside, they've already proven how they could actually play the early game in game number 2. Because again, it was post, it was the late game that was sort of the problem for them eventually on. But let's see if this time, because they're on blue, and now that it's Koyl and Zyda, there's just so much more you have to consider, especially in the jungle.
Yeah, so it's going to be absolutely a banger when it comes to the exchanges, because the Fanny is viable for both of them. They really like to play that. They will absolutely get the Hirara eventually. Now that it's not being considered here. So Uranus as well as the Barrett. So considerations now for Aurora. I feel like TNC, they already showed us that they can play the Barretts. They are willing to play the Barrett, so I believe that that could be an option for them. Ryota just has to play it more consistently, because yesterday we did not see him get a good ultimate off with the Barretts. But maybe this time it's going to be different. It's the Fanny ban. Okay, so Barretts as well as the Paquito open. I feel like the better option will definitely be the Barretts. But the only reason why you would pick the Paquito now is if you want to flex it.
Yeah, lynching towards that idea. It's always good to just decide to play it safely, of course. Barretts is a great pick for a reason, but the Uranus is on the other side.
Yeah.
One thing you have to really take into consideration if you're TNC Pro team, and because of that, they go ahead and pick up the Paquito so that they have that flex option.
Okay, TNC are not gonna go in with their Barretts just yet.
Barretts Hirara is naturally the case here. No Fanny for you to be afraid of. There is also a world where they go Barretts with the Beleric, they like. But I think that if you're Aurora, don't steer away from what the metagame dictates. Just go standard, go Hirara with the Barretts, or maybe Rafaela in the mix in exchange for the Hirara if you're not scared about that matchup, because you know that you're playing Koyl, and Koyl can play a lot of good.
I hope to see that. I hope they really consider a winning matchup in lane for Nats here. For Aurora. But so it seems they will lock in the Uranus instead of the Barretts.
All right. I think Aurora decided to go for this start. At least if ever TNC pick up the Barretts, there's going to be no more surprises. And you have the rest of the draft to be able to adjust to the Paquito jungle.
And I guess for TNC now, if you do pick up the Barretts, you are incentivized to pick up Rafaela or Matilda, either or, because you take it away from the Hirara, especially when we were talking about the Rafaela, and it has good synergy with the Barretts and of course the Paquito. The Paquito is a flex, so you don't want to necessarily go for an assassin here. I guess the outlier for TNC, if they want to, is to pick up the Novaria early on, but I feel like what makes total sense here is the Barretts plus the Rafa or Matilda.
Go ahead and lock that combination. It's Rafa. Will it be Barrett? Or will they veer differently? They still lean towards the Beleric. So we're going to be seeing Light playing a different roamer here, as Beleric was the only heroes that he played in their first series against ONIC Philippines at the start of the season.
Yeah, I don't like this, but the Beleric makes sense in general. I feel like they did not pick up the Barretts because they know that the Uranus was picked up by Aurora anyways. So they're not really pressured to pick that up, so they just secured this Beleric. But also, you reveal something here. Well, kind of. This is still a lot of flex coming out from TNC.
It reminds me of like Falcons and their first phase picks yesterday.
Later, suddenly, I think TNC Pro Team are lynching on the fact that they have two really good options in the EXP available for them. If that Paquito goes to the jungle, you still have Esmeralda and Alice that you can play into the EXP. Then if Aurora forget one of those two heroes, they might just end up with the winning matchup favoring Ryota.
So Aurora decided to pick up the Kaja in here because they know that their Uranus, their Explainer, is not a hard catch hero. Definitely, it's a zero catch hero, actually. And so you are looking for the Kaja so that at least you have a setter for Light. However, it's going to be up against both the Beleric as well as the Rafaela. We saw in the previous game that the Kaja eventually won against both the Rafaela and the Beleric. But you can see the strength of this composition here. If someone gets snagged by the Divine Binding, you still have that Resurrection coming out from the Rafaela.
So I guess TNC would really want to take out some of the combos too. Like what in mid you could just really pair with the Kaja, which is again the Vexana. We already saw this earlier. Not entirely sure if Yue considers the likes of even an Aurora, but...
I mean, okay, if you're going to be playing for Aurora and you can't play Aurora, then why even? I'm sure he has that available for him in the hero pool there.
It's in their name too?
Yeah, it's in their name, exactly. Come on. You're Aurora.
Yeah.
Not Vexana, not Selena, you're Aurora.
Yeah. I wonder what else is left for Ryota. Granted, though, they can put this Beleric in the XP lane.
Oh yeah, that is still a possibility.
Still a possibility.
I wonder if TNC are considering that they'll maybe show up with a Glue Roam for Zen. We get the Glue Rafaela combo in the Roam mid alongside the Paquito jungle, then they put the Beleric in EXP.
Yeah.
That's a possibility, but we did say Esmeralda, Alice are options.
Yeah.
They banned out the Esmeralda.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just Alice now. If they go Alice though, I hope it's really not the double scaling side lane setup anymore.
Yeah.
But
Under. Okay, so yeah, they do ban the Aurora. So you're left with the Novaria if you are Aurora. I think you're more incentivized to pick up your mid laner here for Yue.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is because you can adjust your gold lane for Domeng depending on how TNC wants to pivot this Paquito. So I feel like the safest pick here is the Novaria. Maybe a burst hero from the mage role. Maybe a Farsa could be an alternative, but I think that's scrape. Oh!
Finally! Oh, I really wanted to say this because yes, I've been asking for this since day one. Sicilian gets brought out. It's the mix of burst and continuous damage you want against healers.
That's right.
Novaria's too bursty, Farsa's too bursty, but what about a mage that can give you both?
It's the poke meta game. Sicilian is going to be the choice. There is a world. No, there's no world where you pick up this the Carmilla last, right? Speaking of Carmilla, that could be
Unless
an
it was
option.
Sicilian gold. But only I do that.
but there's a Uranus already, so...
There's already a Uranus,
Well, that's why I said Sicilian gold.
Gold.
Okay.
It's crazy.
So they go Claude here.
Okay. Okay.
Edith.
Ah.
Okay.
Theoretically, this should make them a very annoying team fight.
It's a long drawn team fight for TNC.
Yeah.
They're gonna be looking for the ramp damage, for damage over time. Now if you're Aurora, you might want to consider an early game gold laner like the Brody that can burst heroes down with the Kaja ultimate. There's also the world where they pick up the Beatrix.
Yeah.
Domeng, you know.
Kaja.
They have the Kaja Beatrix combination to go with that. I feel like the Brody though makes a lot of sense here because you want upfront damage that will be able to take out the Edith, the Claude eventually. That is indeed going to be the Brody. A lot of synergy here between the composition of Aurora. They want to go burst. TNC wants to go for a long team fight. It's a battle of two opposing disciplines and schools of thought. And it's going to be a great clash for sure.
Usually this means that the game will have to get stretched out until we see action. But what if, because of how Aurora have drafted this, because of the possibility that the Paquito snowballs, that we might just get this fast and we might just get hella action. TNC in the lineup rating is trumping Aurora big time.
Yep, it just really lies in the latter portions of the game, though, that we might potentially see the struggles come in for TNC and Aurora finally shining and getting online. This is what you expect to see whenever there's a Sicilian in your lineup, their capability to defend. Even having a Brody on their side, I feel like they could just keep prolonging the game if ever they do not give that big of an advantage over to TNC.
Conditionally, both teams have capabilities to snowball early or hold out for a late game spike.
Yep.
They will be closing out our first week of MPL Philippines Season 18. It's TNC and Aurora Gaming PH.
Already, there is this revelation that the Master Assassin is picked up by Domeng. So you do expect a lot of burst, a lot of activation for the Brody in the early stages. And then eventually, Yue will be the one to pick it up in the latter portions of the game, if ever that is going to be the choice for Aurora, because I think that they do have an option where, or a mode where they can go for a very fast gameplay.
It's a solid lineup that they have. They have two backline components that want to stick together in the Sicilian and Brody. This puts a lot of pressure on the Uranus, though, as being the main front aligner and holding. And he needs to hold on long enough, again, against a lineup that wants a long, drawn-out team fight with an Edith that is packing Festival of Blood, interestingly enough.
Yeah, at least there's really no direct burst whatsoever for TNC to just suddenly deal with the Uranus or any front line in general for Aurora. But
yeah, it's like the Paquito can bring it down low, but then it's like, what's next?
Yeah, I think at this point it's just an identity now for TNC that they wanted to go for a long drawn game. They're sticking with it as the fighter emblem was indeed picked up by Ryota. Well, not really the fighter emblem, but the Festival of Blood.
oh, Light was forced to flicker at that moment, and that's a couple seconds just before the first turtle spawns.
What a very tame early game, all things considered here for both teams. Nothing too fancy. Zyda will get to his level 4 as you will expect for Koyl to have as well. Ryota will get his own level 4. Interestingly, they don't have Vin's ultimate yet.
Just yet.
Now they do
TNC
have
have
it.
started it off. Nats already getting there for Light. No level 4 yet. Koyl and Yue close by.
Okay, Nats is just trying to create a bit more space here. Yue too with the pokes, but he doesn't catch anyone with the Sanguine Claw. Zyda though with a burst! Zen finds first blood on Yue, and now it's Nats tanking a majority of the damage too. He cannot do this any longer. Koyl will still get in though, and steals away the objective! Aurora have still found a way to get back in this fight!
The sudden burst on the turtle. Zyda just a microsecond early. Koyl on time.
To be fair, Ryota really sold the act, convincing Aurora that he was the only one in that pixel bush. But eventually Zyda was there, was able to take out Yue. If anything, that was a bigger win for TNC. Think about it, because that's a kill on their side.
Oh,
And they get more.
this makes it bigger. Really bigger. 201 early on for Zyda on the Paquito. The snowballing is just starting for TNC.
That's the condition check right now. We revisit the Sicilian on the hands of Yue. MPL Philippines Season 14, one of the key heroes utilized by Aurora. Number 1. And if I'm not mistaken, this might be his most used?
Yeah, he is. Well,
Or he is the most played Sicilian
he played the Sicilian the most
in the league.
in the league.
So that's 12, all right. And he has a 70% win rate with it too, so
Yeah.
devastating. Again,
impressive.
Season 14.
Yep.
It feels like it's a hero he can just always fall back to.
You remember that comeback? Like game 6 comeback?
Yeah. All Yue. By the way, Domeng just went from Fury Hammer straight into the Sky Piercer. So Aurora understands that the Brody loves the Sky Piercer. You can play fast with it. They want to play faster. That's a neat little adjustment considering that they've already seen Zyda get 2 kills early.
For sure. To be fair though, those are just supporting kills.
Okay, that was a flicker, divine binding, but Vin, okay, he still gets taken down. That was a very decisive move from Aurora right there. He was all alone in mid and they just went for it.
You were the first one to die for Aurora, but that was even a bigger kill because now you're ramping up when it comes to the Sicilian. Getting closer to your first item, the glowing one, which will be so impactful against TNC, who relies heavily on healing. A Flask of the Oasis though, coming from Vin at what, 4 minutes and 20?
Oh.
Very quick.
Impressive.
Yeah, photo run. Oh, that hurts.
This is more impressive. Oh my goodness, a solo kill by Zyda. Taking out Light. Doesn't have the ultimate anyway, but that was still a pick-off before the objective, which is likely just to fall into TNC's hands. Koyl will not even try to get close.
Light absolutely tenderized by the fists of Zyda.
Well done with the combo as well. No wasted movements out there coming out from Zyda. 3-0-1. Now you're gonna wonder, where is Koyl in this scenario? 106 seconds before the turtle. Koyl is deciding to just go for the farm. A 5-minute glowing one. Is enough, Zyda!
Oh, it's a 1v1 again! Zyda doesn't have a flicker, but Koyl under the turret, he's probably not gonna risk it anymore. This is just impressive though, the burst you're seeing from Zyda. He's not afraid to take on anyone.
Yeah, it's Paquito in the first place.
His reward is to take the Trammer away from Aurora, which is, it doesn't look as big right now, but every single camp that you take away from your opposing jungler matters in this game where both teams have good lineups with different win conditions.
Interesting trade decision there by Aurora. They sent 4 of their members down. They sent Koyl to handle the minion wave opposite, thinking that Zyda wouldn't do the same. Zyda purposefully delayed his take of the buffs because he saw the better prize. Bringing Koyl down low, then going straight for the Crammer, and then now he'll be able to farm without that much of a problem. Seems like a big macro trade priorities of Aurora are still a little bit behind.
Yeah, and at least Light gets the first item though, fleeting time in, so maybe he could build a bit more defense from now on. Because he's looking like a really squishy target so far for TNC whenever Zyda gets to find his hands on him. They're not going to have enough room to defend this tier 1 down bot.
A quick work of it. Jowm being fed a lot of gold into that bottom lane. A lot of attention there for TNC. But the top lane is mostly left to the Paquito. This means that there will be 2 big damage dealers for TNC come the first lore. That's going to be from the fists of Zyda. And of course, the bullets coming out from Jowm. And the faster you get to your Trinity, the better it is for Jowm. Rocking the Purify, as well as the Fighter emblem for the Claude, means that you're not an easy target for the Brody to take out.
Living gun for the Brody. Light spotted. Sees Zyda. Don't think he saw Zen, but fishes the Belleric out. Hurdle number 3. Be a big win here. Purple buff about to spawn, concealed by Zen.
Okay, Ryota's here too though. Zyda trying to burst down Light all over again, and they find the kill. That's looking like the next target. Sanguine Claws to keep them in place as Koyl enters and finds multiple targets as well. Zyda and Ryota are a bit low, but the sustain is there. Vin is still trying to help them stay alive as they take this turtle away from Aurora.
Yeah, did you see the movements coming out from TNC after 1 kill? And them receiving the Sanguine Claws, they immediately back out. And knowing that they have Vin to heal them up, the Flask of the Oasis and the Favor available, it only took a matter of, what, 2 seconds for them to be back in full health and them to be fight ready once again. The moment that RORA saw that, they had to back out.
Hey, but it's a shutdown, it is! Yue finds the kill too!
What a read there by RORA, but TNC get their jungler back instantly through the passive of the Rafaela.
Resurrection coming out from TNC, but that's a big shutdown though. You can see that the lead that TNC were trying to inflate against Aurora, it's now being cut down to half, 600 gold only for now. Light saw this happen, and that means that Domeng will be able to get out there safely.
Oh, they decide to go for Ryota! Can he still use his ultimate though? He does! He is gonna survive! Torn apart memory! That was close!
Shield right on time!
And of course, the Wrath is enough for him to get out of there, Primal Wrath. And the TNC are stabilizing for now. 6.7 thousand gold for the Paquito compared to 5.2 of the Hirara, which is so significant, but at least for Domeng, he is leading when it comes to the gold. You know what's really scary about this is the fact that Ryota is not having the farm for the team. You need some tankiness on the Edith, and eventually he will be him not having the tankiness will be a problem. Is that a miscom? Oh no, Vin did not commit the flicker.
Yeah, I thought he also flickered in, but it was
flickered.
just a holy blessing after all. And yeah, I think that was the fight where we expected TNC to be most confident because Ryota was there finally and the Primal Wrath could have been available to last them longer, but Ryota or RORA were just very particular with who they wanted to take out first. Now it's the lore that we're about to see, and the gold lead is very insignificant right now.
It is right now.
4 items already locked in here for Domeng. Haas Claws for the Brody.
Yeah.
To be all online and all ready to go for RORA to get that big fight.
Yep.
But TNC so far have been able to read them and get the first step over the Northern Lights. Phoenix Army, this looks good for them.
3 items for Zyda, only 2 for Koyl.
Ryota's blocking the way. Okay, Zen gets spotted out though, still has the Wrath of Dryad, doesn't need to use it anymore. They're just going for the zone and that's it.
It's enough. Unfortunately, Koyl was far too late, but at the same time, Zyda has a level advantage or 2 over him anyways. So it wasn't the right choice, though.
It's Ryota the right choice, though.
Again.
Primal Wrath still available. Wrath of Dryad from Zen! Plus the Blazing Duet from Jowm as TNC take out 3 and take tier 1 in mid.
A vote of confidence from Coach Hito Max. He says that his roamer can do so much more. What a big play by Zen.
A counter play coming out from the Wrath of the Dryad. But also the fact that Aurora did not have enough damage to take on Ryota, popping the Primal Wrath and then flickering out so that he will be out of range of Domeng. And now they convert that to 3 kills afterwards because of the immense amount of damage they get coming out from Zyda, coming out from Jowm. And then the healing coming out from the Rafaela is also important in these micro objectives for Aurora. Unfortunately, the poke style of Aurora might not be the best up against the sustain of TNC.
That's the thing, it's a poke type lineup. They haven't hit the point of the game where you could really consider it to be bursty enough.
Yep.
And yet they still decided to go for Ryota in that particular moment. Was he like the most within reach person?
I guess.
Yeah, I feel like they just decided to go for the first one that they saw.
Yeah. At that time, though, if you're going to be looking at the items, Dominance Ice and only the Dreadnought Armor. So maybe when they were checking all the items on TNC, they have confirmed that maybe Ryota is the best target. Think about it, though. That is a tank emblem needed. But at the same time, every single moment that they don't catch where Vin is, it means that one pop of the Flask of the Oasis healing with the favor from the Rafaela will mean that TNC will survive. So regardless of who they want to catch with the Divine Binding, they still have to take note and mark where Vin will be.
Because Aurora drafted this way, what could have been a quick climb to a snowball through a Hirara, then to a Brody, turned into a front-to-back lineup against a composition that wants a longer team fight and has all the sustainability and tools to survive that much longer team fight. And I feel like this Edith is cut from the same cloth as Carmilla in the EXP, Alice in the EXP, anything in the EXP to look at the Barretts, but this time as an answer for the Kaja. You pull it, but is it actually worth pulling? Because if it survives, yes, it's really low. You made it burn its flicker and its ultimate, but then you're suddenly getting hit by enhanced basic attacks.
Yeah, it's tough.
As a mid lane Rafaela, you don't have access to the favor, but because you farm so well with being the mid laner, you get the Flask of the Oasis with the Enchanted Talisman at minute 12, 6,000 gold. It means that every single pop of your healing, it actually heals you up so much, or heals out your team so much.
Yeah, it's like you're a self-sustaining fountain.
Yeah,
You're not a mana.
Fountain.
You have Maya, you have a moving fountain. You have health, you have mana, you're losing health,
Beat
you're
boost.
more health, it's everything.
Yeah, so Rora really would like to maybe reconsider what their next steps are going to be, because I know after all that, Vin sounds like a really good target, but it's not like you could find him anyway. It's not like you could reach him. Nats is the guy you'd really expect to look for, Vin, but at this point, TNC might just really be confident enough to find those pickoffs whenever they're made available for them.
Long lane setup for TNC is good. The longer this Lord fight goes, it's bad for Aurora.
Long hold, conceal, use too. I think TNC just takes this Lord.
Sanguine Claws doesn't land onto anyone. Nats might be the recipient of a combo right here, already using the Consecration. Rora cannot contest. They would rather defend in base and trust in their lineup.
There's a lot of good stuff that you saw from TNC. Not only was their positioning so pristine, the fact that they also set up the slow push, that it's not really a slow push, it's like kind of in the middle. It was enough for Domeng to show himself in the bottom lane clearing that. TNC, when they went in for a play in the middle and saw that there was an immediate retreat from Aurora, when they did go for the jump onto Nats, it prompted TNC to the fact that, okay, they will not contest anymore. Let's blitz this one out. And that's exactly what happened. 4,800 gold ahead. TNC will now be knocking at the doors of Aurora with the Lord on their side.
Fully item lock Paquito against a Hirara that only has 3 items. Something, nuclear bomb, coughing baby. 5,000, here comes TNC.
Already one base turret taken down. They're looking for more. Oh, okay, that was not the combo they wanted. Koyl might just find a trade here, but then again! 3-man Wrath of Dryad, but the counter engage with the Divine Binding. Immortalities pop here and there. Ryota the first to fall, and Aurora actually get to find a successful defense.
Not the start they wanted. Zen looked like he got the salvage, but at that point, TNC ran out of minions and Aurora punished.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ryota, again missing the mark. Still hasn't found his groove. Even in the mid lane fight with the turtle fight, the very first turtle of this game, Ryota missed the onward combo as well. This time with the flicker, he wasn't able to get a catch. So you really have to remind Ryota how to initiate for the team. However, it was still a plan for TNC to go for that play from Ryota so that Aurora will focus on him, and then comes Zen as the second engage. It still is a pretty intact game plan for TNC despite them not pulling it off, but imagine if Ryota had landed at least one of the stuns with the onward as well as the Earth Shatter play, it would have been really good for TNC.
We were talking about how problematic this Rafaela has been for RORA. Now it has a Winter Crown. Even if you decide to go ahead and jump on it as the first contact, suddenly you've wasted abilities on a Rafaela that's just frozen in time.
Yeah, and next is like, who else? Jowm has a Purify. Right now, Yota's already very tanky too. That was a bit more easier for RORA earlier because they had the help of a turret, but things are different once they actually try to get out. But can they? At this point, are they willing to already risk a fight again? Because earlier, it was just TNC zoning them out. It was just Zen standing in front. And Ryota threatening them with an Earth Shatter onward combo.
Still, we've seen that RORA can punish. You mentioned that it was because, well, they didn't have the turret with them there. Still, it's very close. Domeng has kept farm close. It's not like he died over and over again. He's up to a full item build as well. Here comes the conceal play. Oh, it's Koyl!
All alone. Ahirara though, he might go for the outplay, but with the amount of damage that TNC already has, Zyda just looking for that one last punch and he finds it! But the pull, but the blazing do it in the Wrath of Dryad! The counter engage from TNC looking a bit too good. Flicker's forced out even from Light. And Zyda was there, ready to fight too. RORA had to respect TNC.
Great counter initiation there coming out from Aurora, but even better the start for TNC, the way that they fished for Koyl and Koyl just being taken out. They are now back in action because of their healing coming out from the Rafaela. Oh my goodness, you really have to commend Jowm as well. Did not fall into the trap of jumping too far back onto Aurora after the Divine Binding was used. Because again, you still have to respect the damage output of Yue. Him popping the Wind of Nature as well to get out of harm's way. They take out the important members of Aurora and they have collected the Lord with it.
Zyda was in an excellent position as well. You saw there was a bit of glimmer of hope there for Aurora, but even just Zyda standing in there and watching them made them go back. It made Light flicker into a wall. He was like, oh no, I'm scared.
And now they don't have it. They have less tools to deal with its defense, and they don't have a one base turret anymore. The Lord is just gonna get in easily for TNC.
Maybe this time, Ryota gets that big set, that nice combo. But look at the wave clear.
Okay.
RORA has in spades. It's not going to be as easy as a way to end this for TNC. You have so much reach and so much poke. High ground defense. Though I know we don't have a high ground. Okay. It's good for RORA.
The way that TNC bursted, the time that it took for them to burst out the Lord felt like the same amount of time Aurora needed just to defend it when it came close. So, okay, at least it doesn't seem like an easy task for TNC now to end the game as much as they want to.
Look how annoying it is. Insane wave clear. Maybe, just maybe, they can hold out and find that moment. Domeng with the Winter Crown. Almost 300 stacks for the Sicilian. My goodness.
Yeah, very scary. Slowly and surely, Aurora are building up. You can see that they are defending well, and they're giving up some parts of the map for an idea of prolonging the game. It's all of a sudden just 19 minutes. Sometimes, you know, there was a 14-minute game that I thought was, it felt really long in the previous series, but this time it's like a 19-minute game that felt short. It's mainly because there's not a lot happening, and Aurora are just turtling their way into this game, or back into this game. And they do have the resources to do so with the Sicilian. I feel like their late game is pretty even despite them having the Sicilian, because you still have to think about the Cloud here for TNC.
The fumble will not be generational, but it will be significant if TNC drop the ball. They need to find a way to get to that Brody, or at least chip away at the front line enough so that their back line is forced back and TNC can just end it. Great handling of the minion waves on the sides. They will get Lord priority and hold. RORA will have to yet again turtle it out in the base.
They got dominance eyes at the same time. That's in Light. I wonder how far are we from just locking in all the items already for both sides, because we're already in the 20-minute mark of the game. Zen, though, holding this push. Is this a way for them to finally reach the back lines?
They know. Can they snuff him out?
I have no idea. That's a conceal. They hear it. Ryota flickers in, finally finds a combo, and it's gonna be Koyl who they catch. The Wrath of Dryad still not being used. There he finally does! Immortality is bought here by Domeng. Koyl trying to back or block the rest of the members, but they finish the job target they want. Domeng is down. TNC can take the Lord.
It takes a lot of ramp up, but eventually Ryota's damage with the Primal Wrath transformation is enough. But how about that Winter Crown blazing do it play coming out from Jowm, inviting the members of Aurora to get into their box, only to fall against the damage output of both Zyda as well as Jowm. The trap has been sprung by Aurora, and it will be Koyl once again to really start the fight badly for Aurora.
It's like Jowm was honest with himself, and he even saw the slander online about his performance in the opening series for TNC, and now he has stepped up to the plate. 1-0-4. Not that impressive statistically, but his impact has definitely been felt.
Oh, he sold it. He went for the immortality now.
Yeah.
It's going to be juggling items now.
And it's Domeng who sold his immortality because he bought one earlier, but it still wasn't enough. Now it's the Lord marching in the base. 2 base turrets taken down. Divine Binding doesn't find anyone. Koyl just trying to deal with the Lord. Light 2 trying to zone out, but Nass is the first to fall. Zyda going in. It's Domeng who they want. Torn apart memory not going to be enough. Ewan trying his best to defend, but TNC can access the base, and they finally will take game number 1.
Aurora still struggling, while TNC have now found the wind underneath their wings. They take game 1.
Slow and steady wins the race. And you would expect that from Aurora with the composition that they have. But it was TNC that understood the assignment. TNC that understood the strength of their composition. They don't need to rush. They can go in and out of the fight. Hedging on the fact that they have both the Beleric as well as the Rafaela. Wait for Jowm's timing. Be patient with Ryota and allow Zyda to go ham. Perfect gameplay coming out from TNC.
And I hope you saw, all of you saw that vid instantly as they won. Talking to the veteran Zyda, talking strategy, then talking to his roam mid counterpart in Zen. The confidence in the young man.
It's not a celebration just yet. I mean, you can have some small celebrations because you still won a game, but to them, it doesn't feel like they want to. They really